Welcome to episode 8 of the Wrassingh Show. Today's special guest is one of the best technical wrestlers from India. He is a two-time Wrestle Square Tag Team Champion and the current Wrestle Square Intercontinental Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to you the Limit Breaker, Skyler.
Skyler, the reason I am so excited, for this interview, because this is my first interview with an Indian professional wrestler, and who is not from Canada, US. He is somebody who's a real deal. You are from India, and in India, I know that a lot of people who are listening to this right now, they know that there's a stereotype in India that kids, they either grow up to become an engineer or a doctor. Whereas you kind of broke that glass ceiling and you became what you wanted to become, and that is a professional wrestler. Skyler, would you like to tell us, how did this passion of wrestling get into you? Were you always a fan of wrestling growing up?
Yeah, I was a fan of wrestling like every wrestler is. And this, when I first started watching wrestling, I was like so impressed. And I wasn't judging anything. I was just enjoying this two wrestlers giving it all in their ring, right, and giving their best and putting the smile on the face of people. And right, that just hit me. And I was like, that is what I'm going to do. I didn't know how back then, because in India there was no scope of wrestling back then. But I just knew that I'm made for this only.
That's beautiful. Who were your favorite professional wrestlers when you were growing up watching the show?
My favorite wrestler of all time is Randy Orton. He's amazing.
Okay.
And apart from him, I have 3 or 4 wrestlers like Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit,
yes,
and Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. Like these 4 wrestlers are, I cannot put them in an order. They are just equally talented, and they are just my idol.
That is great. And it's interesting because you've named Shawn Michaels, you've named Eddie Guerrero, you've named Chris Benoit. And what I see common in all of these wrestlers is all of them are technical wrestlers. And when I was going through your profile on WrestleSquare.com, I came to know that you are dubbed as one of the best professional technical wrestlers in India. So would you like to tell us, why did you choose this particular form of wrestling?
Actually, every character has a little history. So right, in the same case, Skyler has a little history. I was like a normal guy, and then something happened, and I went to this place called society. And in that society, submissions were the only way of survival. You cannot survive that way if you don't know how to choke other people out, or how to inflict pain to other human beings. So Skyler went in that society, and there he got the tag name of the Limit Breaker, because he was the best submission and torturing guy there.
Wow. When I was asking that question, I did not expect such a deep and beautiful answer. Wow. That is deep. It's like real life that got into wrestling, and submission in real life is just as important as it is in the ring. Beautiful. So when talking about, your passion of wrestling, you were growing up watching the show. Did you ever try, the moves when you were a kid? Did you ever try them on your siblings or your friends? Did you get crazy?
Actually, yes. When I was like, I must be 10 years old, I think. And we used to, with my friends, used to wrestle in the ground. Okay. And we used to use the ring of the grass. We used to just make a square box, and we used to just beat the shit out of each other, like hitting pedigree and breaking each other's nose, and it was bleeding, and it was awful, man. It was so awful, but at the same time, we were enjoying it.
Yeah, of course. So you can say that you started training to become a wrestler since you were a kid. That's great.
Yeah, you can say that.
That's great.
It's almost similar to backyard wrestling.
Backyard wrestling. Of course it is, yes. So you're a kid, you're watching wrestling, you're trying it on your friends. Did you ever have any resistance from your parents or your peers that no, don't do it, it's too hard, it's too dangerous, anything like that?
No, actually, I'm so blessed in this case because, as you mentioned, in India, all most of the parents or students or the kids themselves, they choose a line to be a doctor or engineer or whatever. So I was so blessed in this case because my parents always supported me.
That is
They
great.
always believed that if I believe in something, I will achieve it, and I did. And this is just the starting.
That is incredible. So when was it that you actually started training to become a wrestler?
It started in 2016.
2016.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
So
In the yeah, you were
yes,
saying something.
you graduated from your school and then you attended college and then you got into wrestling, or how did it go?
I graduated from college, and there was this one wrestling school that opened at that time, and I was preparing to join that. But
Okay.
unfortunately, I was just practicing some stupid shit because I was a kid, and
Yeah.
I got a slip disc problem,
Oh,
and I was on the bed for like 1 year or so. I was completely at bed rest. So basically, I got an injury before my wrestling training even started.
right.
But but it finally got started when I got better after the slip disc. And in 2016, I joined the promotion called Wrestle Square,
Right.
and since then, I am a part of that roster, and it is one of the best and one of the fastest growing independent wrestling promotion all over the world.
Absolutely. So tell me something about your experience training. How hard was it? And did you ever have any second thoughts that, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should do something else. Did you ever have such thoughts?
No, actually, this is the most dangerous thing that one person can have is self doubt. If you convinced other people, if you have convinced your parents and friends that you can do it, and when you do it, you yourself back off. That is not an option
Right.
because if you believe in something, maybe you will have a 1 or 2 bad days in training or rough days in training. It happens with everyone. But
Right.
the main point is staying on the track and just try to be better than yesterday.
So what was your most favorite part about training? Was it the wrestling or the entrance or the promos? What did you like the most?
Promos.
I can tell that because when I was going through your Instagram profile and I saw all these incredible promos, and I was like, this guy is good on the mic. And, not just in English, but also in Hindi, you cut great promos. So what is it about promos that you love so much?
Actually, promos are a way to connect to the audience. If you're a new to an audience and you are performing there for the first time, you can basically tell everything about yourself and about the match, what is going to happen with just a 2 minute promo.
Right. Absolutely.
It is
So
the best way to connect with the audience.
that's true. So when I was watching your promos, and I got this vibe from you that you are a heel. So tell me, do you prefer to be a heel or a face?
Actually, I am a heel since the start of my career. I have never been a baby face, and I like to stay that way because I love to piss people off.
Okay, I see. I could tell. I was like, this guy is a heel. It's like it's one of those things. In Harry Potter, you're either Gryffindor or you're Slytherin. So I'm like, this guy is a natural born Slytherin. He's a heel. I can see that already. Great, that is fantastic. Yes.
Bad guy.
Bad guy. I can tell. You got the look. You got everything going. That's great. You definitely done great. In the wrestling business, and you've, as you mentioned before, you've wrestled not just in India, but you've also wrestled in other countries such as Bangkok and Russia. So can you tell us something about your experience and how was it performing overseas?
It was awesome because when you perform in India, the audience comes, but the audience, most of the people, they try to judge what we are doing.
Right.
So because they don't exactly know. They know what WWE is, but they don't know what pro wrestling is.
It's
So
true.
they try to judge us. So
Right.
I sometimes get really pissed at them, and I just shout at them from the ring that I dare you to step in the ring, and they just back off. But in Russia and Bangkok, the crowd, they
Yeah,
know what they are paying to see.
absolutely. Yeah.
And when you go to some other country, you are naturally a heel because you face their local talents.
Right.
And
You are a heel. Right.
yeah, and the favorite part about wrestling is pissing people off. So it makes this job easy when you go outside.
That is great. So, what is your favorite country to wrestle in so far?
Um, I'd say Russia.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love Russia as well. It's a great country. But I was surprised because I had until a few months ago, I had no idea that Russia has such an extensive industry in wrestling in the country. I mean, they have a lot of promotions out there and a lot of good
Mhm.
wrestlers. A lot of good wrestlers. So, what is the one part that you loved about wrestling in Russia?
I remember when I was wrestling in Russia against Roddy. He was
Okay.
the local hero of that promotion. So uh, I was throughout the match. I was just taunting a audience, and the atmosphere got so fiery
Okay.
that I thought they will jump in the ring and beat the shit out of me.
It's incredible.
So that was amazing as well as scary.
That is incredible. You know, you telling me about wrestling all over the place and doing such incredible things. And these things wouldn't have been possible a few years ago for a wrestler from India because the platform was not out there. And I can say that you're actually paving the way for so many future wrestlers who will come up from India because you're one of the pioneers there. So can you tell us something about the wrestling industry in India? How big is it?
If I count, there are 6 or 7 promotions in India,
Okay.
uh, but it's like they open a promotion, but they don't exactly know why they are opening so because they're just trying to make business out of wrestling. They're
Okay.
just trying to earn profit, like to take fees from a new guy and just keeping them there for like 1 or 2 years and not giving them enough opportunities. I won't say the name, but most of the promotion are doing the same thing. But Wrestle Square, they are just legit. They if they see you that you got something in you, they will push you ahead and they will go give you opportunities.
That's great. Yeah, so like in India, when you talk about people who know about wrestling and know a little bit about India, the two promotions that people talk about all the time are Wrestle Square and then there's CWE, that's Cully's promotion. So, but Cully, I know he does a few shows, but I feel like they're more of I don't know, like a pump and show. It's not like a real promotion. Do you have any information on how Kali is doing with his school right now?
Actually, I don't really know much guys from there, but I have seen and I have heard about their events.
Yeah.
Basically, the tagline of the events are "The Great Khali Returns."
Yeah.
So you can imagine if the tagline of the event is there,
Right.
almost 99% of people will pay to see the Great Khali, obviously,
Not
and
really
and
stars. Yeah.
and that name itself will overshadow other local talents, other growing talents.
That is true.
So if you pay and you watch some two Indian wrestlers performing who are not Khali, you will just be like, when will Khali come? When will Khali come?
That's it.
Yeah.
You
So
make
this
a
is
very
what's happening.
you make a very good point there. Very good point. So, speaking of these promotions and wrestling in India, are the Indian people, the general population, are they aware of wrestling in the country?
As you already know that the fan base of WWE is huge in India,
Right.
but still they don't know that India itself has their own wrestling promotion, their own wrestling talent. But slowly that is changing. Fortunately, people are getting to know their local talents. People are getting to know their local promotions,
That's good.
and whoever is inspired and who wants to be a wrestler, they are coming. They are coming to train. So that is a good thing that this
Right.
scene is changing.
That's good. Yes, and it just reminds me of I was listening to Prime Minister Modi's speech. I don't remember a few months ago where he talked about self-dependence of the country and how you should promote local and be vocal about it. So I think it is time for
Because
India
if
to
you,
be. Yes, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, because if you see guys like Kazuchika Okada and most of the New Japan Pro Wrestling guys, they started somewhere.
Right.
And
These are
what they had from the beginning is the support of their locals.
exactly
That is
you.
why that is why they didn't have to go to some big promotions to make a
Exactly.
name for them, because they had their local support.
You gotta.
So
You
it
gotta.
is about
It's very important to have that. You know, when if you look at European wrestlers, if you look at Wade Barrett, you look at Sami Zayn, whenever they go back home, you know they're making noise. The people are making noise for them. I think that's what Indian population is so incredible. Look at the size; they're large. I think the biggest fan population is from India. But the sad part is that they don't get as much importance. Not only just the fans, but even the stars, they don't get importance. They should be getting importance. They should be recognized for the incredible work they do, the incredible skills they have. And I hope that, slowly Indian fans start becoming vocal about local and, they get
a
more
good
aware
thing.
of the incredible stuff that is within their country. So, I've interviewed a lot of wrestlers from different places of the world. I've interviewed people from Finland, different parts of Europe and America. And for these countries, when it comes to independent circuit, it is hard for them to survive on just independent wrestling. And to make a living for themselves, they also have to work some other jobs. Mostly, wrestling is some of like a side gig that they do on the weekends, and they have to have some other job, for the full days.
Mhm.
What about you? Do
Yeah.
you also have to work two jobs?
Actually, yes, I am a personal trainer. I have some clients in the gym.
That's great.
I only give personal training, not 8 hour typical gym job, but I focus on keep giving the personal training to some clients.
That is good. That is great.
Be-
And do
because
those
in that way because in that way I can give more time to wrestling, because if I do an 8 hour job in a day, I will not be able to make time for wrestling training.
that's
And
true.
with wrestling come proper diet and everything else, proper diet, proper workouts,
A lot
and
of stuff.
everything else. So this stuff comes first from me.
Absolutely. So you keep busy. You have a lot of stuff on your plate. You have to look after yourself. You have to, look after your own workouts and all these preparations for the ring. On top of that, do you get time to tune into Raw and SmackDown and AEW every week, or how does that go?
Uh, Actually, not. No, I don't get time,
Yeah, I can
because
imagine. Yeah,
I already have a very, very busy schedule.
absolutely.
And but if I hear hear something good about a match, I definitely go check it out. Whether
That is
it's Raw, SmackDown, AEW, NXT, NJPW, you name it, I
that is
will watch it.
That is great. So we were just talking about India and how fans are aware of it. I want to ask you, what is the general perspective of people when it comes to wrestling in India? Because we know that it is cricket that dominates the Indian sports market even more than hockey, which is India's own national game. So
Yeah.
how does wrestling stand up?
Actually, as I said, as you mentioned that cricket is the most popular game in India, and besides that, it's WWE. But people there don't know that WWE and pro wrestling is basically same.
So
So
is it about like wrestling is fake? It's like, do people have such bias? Because a lot of people do in America.
yeah, actually, most of them, they try to judge what we do, and
Okay,
my reply is, let's do 1,000 squats and 500 push-ups, and then talk about what's fake and what's not.
of course, yes. I feel it is quite sad that just because of the choreographed nature of wrestling, wrestlers don't get the same respect that other sportsmen do, and I feel it's very unfair. because they work equally, if not even harder, than other sportsmen. You're absolutely right. So we were just talking about, CWE, and we spoke about Wrestle Square. So you wrestle in one of the most prominent wrestling promotions in India, and that is Wrestle Square, and you are their Intercontinental Champion as well. Can you tell us something about this promotion?
This promotion started in 2015, and it was founded by the owner, Mr. Vince.
Okay.
His full name is Vinayak Sodhi, so he likes to go with Vince.
I see. So India has their own Vince. Huh? That's good.
Yeah, and he's one of the most hardworking guy I have ever met. Like, he just never gives up. If he sees some things in people that they can do good in wrestling, or they some not just wrestling business, they can be a good commentator, they can be a good ring announcer. He will see it, and he will keep pushing you until you are just perfect in that field.
That is great.
Yeah.
So I know that WWE comes to India every so often to do tryouts. Have you ever had a chance to do a tryout yourself?
Actually, WWE came last year in our academy, in Wrestle Square's academy.
Okay.
For scouting talent, but unfortunately, I had an accident back then, due to which I was unable to attend the tryout.
I see.
So it was pretty bad time for me, but I knew that I will make something good out of it as well.
Yeah, the next time they come, you'll be even better, and you will have the gold to show off, right? You're going to be having your title, so you're going to be even a better wrestler by then. Yes, absolutely. And I really hope, and I really pray that I know that we will see you on television one day or the other. It's going to happen. It has to happen. So you made your debut in Wrestle Square in 2016. Is that correct?
I've started training in 2016, and I made my debut on February 19, 2017.
I see, 2017. All right. So it's been about 4 years since you've been in the ring. So, let's make it a little fun since we're nearing the end of the interview. I'm going to ask you 4 questions, and all of them are based on number 4. It's a rapid fire round, so you have to try and answer those questions as fast as you can. All right. So, first question is 4 reasons you love to be a professional wrestler.
My general nature is to piss people off. Promos, the connection I make with the audience, and the ring stuff that we do. I just love it.
Beautiful. All right. 4 countries that you really want to wrestle in.
US, UK, Japan, and what else? Maybe Mexico.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, absolutely. Mexico is a great place to wrestle in as well. 4 match types that you really want to participate in. For me, if you ask me, I'm not a wrestler, but if I was a wrestler, I would love to participate in a TLC match. Just the thought of going up, when the audience are watching you from all around. I'm scared of fights, but I would love a match like TLC. What about you? What matches do you really want to get into?
Submission match.
Of course, submission. I should have known.
I will feel more comfortable in a submission match.
Yeah.
And a 2 out of 3 falls match, like traditional British style of wrestling.
Right.
And maybe TLC.
Are you scared of heights? I think you're not, because I've seen that you also try a little bit of high-flying wrestling. So you're not scared of heights, are you?
I have some moves in my arsenal, some high-flying moves, but I'm not a very big fan of high-flying moves.
Okay.
But I'm not really scared. Yeah, you can say that.
It's good.
And 4th match would be steel cage match.
Steel cage. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting choice. Okay, so the last question. 4 things that you really want to accomplish in your wrestling career.
To be able to perform in many as promotion as I can, as much promotions, to work with different people of different countries.
Right.
And the ultimate goal for mostly all of the wrestlers is WWE.
Absolutely.
And my primary goal is to main event WrestleMania. And I am 100% sure it will happen because I believe in myself. And that's two, right?
Yes.
Two more. I want to win a title in every promotion I work for.
Good.
And fourth would be, I think that's it. Three are just all I want.
Okay, beautiful answers, but I'm a little curious because you mentioned WrestleMania and you mentioned WWE. I want to know if you have an opponent in your mind that you really want to face, at WrestleMania.
Seth Rollins.
Oh, okay, wow. You know what? I like that. I would love to see a match between you and Seth Rollins because both of you are pretty much like heel. I see some similarities in your hair, in your smile, a lot in both of your arsenal. I do see that. It's incredible. So WrestleMania with you and Seth Rollins, I think that would be truly good, really good. So tell me something about what would you advise, if people who are watching this interview right now, what would your advice be to the Indian fans who are watching you right now and if they want to become wrestlers as well and follow into your footsteps?
Well, my advice would be simple. It's all about belief. If you go after something in life, there are always going to be naysayers who will tell you that you cannot do it, or you are not worthy, or you are not fit for this profession. But if you believe them, you cannot do it. But if you believe in yourself and you listen to yourself, to your inner voice, you can do anything. And it's all about belief. So keep believing and never self-doubt. That is the key.
Awesome, Skyler. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure talking to you today. Honestly, I believe in you after this interview. And I know that in few years, in 1 year, 2 year, I know that we are going to see you on the television screens very, very soon. Thank you so much, Skyler. And everybody listening to us right now or watching us on YouTube, you should follow Skyler on social media. His Instagram handle is Skyler_WS. And if you want to buy his merch, you can go to WrestleSquare.com and go to Skyler, just like the shirt he's rocking right now. You can get that shirt for yourself. Skyler, thank you so much. It was truly a pleasure, and I can't wait to see more of you and more of Wrestle Square. Thank you, Skyler.
Thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
Thank you. It was really fun.
And this brings us to the end of our interview with the incredible Indian professional wrestler, Skyler. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to share it with your friends and wrestling fans across the globe. And make sure to tune in next Tuesday and every other Tuesday after next Tuesday for more interviews and to get to know more professional wrestlers from all across the globe. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week.